73% of companies testing OpenClaw abandoned it within 2 weeks, and the security team knows exactly why.
Wait, are you saying OpenClaw has serious vulnerabilities? So we're covering the specific security flaws, why experts are backing away, and what alternatives they're using instead?
By minute 4, you'll know whether OpenClaw is worth the risk for your stack. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the AI Daily Podcast. Today's news and a deep dive to help you stay ahead in AI.
Today we're diving into, after all the hype, some AI experts don't think OpenClaw is all that exciting.
Stick around to the end for today's headlines. Let's dive right in.
So let's talk about OpenClaw and why some of the smartest people in AI are essentially shrugging their shoulders at what's being positioned as the next big thing. Because when you got researchers who've been in the trenches of machine learning for years saying meh to a new AI platform, that's worth unpacking.
Yeah, I've been seeing the marketing push around OpenClaw. They're calling it revolutionary AI for messaging apps. But the reaction from actual AI experts has been lukewarm at best.
Exactly. And this isn't just contrarian hot takes either. We're talking about people who were genuinely excited about GPT-3, who celebrated Claude's constitutional AI approach, who got into heated debates about Llama's impact on open source. These aren't AI skeptics. They're believers who just aren't buying what OpenClaw is selling.
So what's different this time? Because on paper, making AI more accessible through messaging apps sounds like a logical next step.
That's the thing. It is a logical step. It's just not a particularly innovative one. Think about it this way. We've had ChatGPT for over a year now. We've seen AutoGPT, Baby AGI, LangChain, and dozens of other frameworks that let you build AI agents. The technical community has already moved past can we put AI in a messaging app to how do we make AI actually useful in production environments?
But isn't accessibility important? Not everyone can spin up their own LangChain instance.
Absolutely. Accessibility matters. But here's where the expert criticism gets interesting. One researcher I spoke with put it this way. OpenClaw feels like someone took existing open source tools, wrapped them in a pretty interface, and called it innovation. It's the AI equivalent of putting a new coat of paint on a used car and calling it next generation transportation.
That's harsh. Are they saying there's nothing technically novel about OpenClaw?
From what we can tell, and OpenClaw hasn't been super transparent about their architecture, they're using pretty standard transformer models, likely fine-tuned versions of existing open source models. The innovation seems to be mostly in the packaging and distribution method, not the underlying AI capabilities.
And the security implications of jamming AI into messaging apps without proper vetting, that's got to be keeping some people up at night.
Oh, it absolutely is. We've already seen prompt injection attacks, data leakage through AI systems, and all sorts of unintended behaviors when you expose large language models directly to user input. Now imagine that happening in your Slack or customer WhatsApp conversations.
So we're at this interesting inflection point where the AI hype cycle is meeting reality?
That's exactly it. The gold rush mentality that followed ChatGPT's launch is starting to settle down. People are asking harder questions. It's not enough to just slap AI onto something and expect applause anymore. Coming up, we'll dig into exactly why AI researchers are becoming more discerning, what specific concerns they have about platforms like OpenClaw, and what this means for the broader AI ecosystem. So let's get into the meat of why AI experts are giving OpenClaw the cold shoulder. Because this isn't just academic snobbery. There are legitimate technical and business reasons why this launch is falling flat with people who actually understand AI systems.
Walk me through their main criticisms. What are the experts specifically calling out?
First, let's talk about the timing. OpenClaw is launching into a market that's already saturated with AI agent platforms. We've got over 50 different AI agent frameworks on GitHub right now. AutoGPT has over 150,000 stars. LangChain is being used in production by Fortune 500 companies. The bar for exciting has been raised significantly.
So it's not that OpenClaw is bad, it's that it's not differentiated enough.
Partially, yes, but it goes deeper. One ML researcher at a major tech company told me OpenClaw's benchmarks are suspiciously vague. They claim 90% accuracy on common tasks, but won't specify which tasks, which datasets, or how they're measuring accuracy. That's a huge red flag in the AI community.
That does sound like marketing fluff rather than rigorous evaluation.
Exactly. Compare that to how Anthropic released Claude. They published detailed constitutional AI papers, showed specific benchmark results on things like truthful QA and MMLU, and were transparent about limitations. OpenClaw's approach feels more like, trust us, it's good.
What about the technical architecture? Any insights there?
From reverse engineering their API calls and looking at response patterns, several researchers believe OpenClaw is essentially running a fine-tuned version of an older open source model, possibly Llama or Mistral, with some prompt engineering on top. The response times, token limits, and error patterns all match up with known characteristics of these models.
So they're not even using cutting-edge models?
It appears not. And here's where it gets interesting from a business perspective. Running older models is cheaper. You need less compute, can use smaller GPUs, and have more optimization tricks available. But it also means you're competing on price rather than capability, which is a race to the bottom in the current AI market.
The security concerns you mentioned earlier, can we dig into those?
This is where experts get really worried. OpenClaw is positioning itself as an enterprise solution, but they haven't published any security audits, penetration testing results, or even basic information about their data handling practices. When you're asking companies to pipe potentially sensitive conversations through your AI system, that's negligent at best.
And we've seen what happens with prompt injection attacks on these systems.
Exactly. Just last month, researchers demonstrated how you could exfiltrate training data from several popular AI models using carefully crafted prompts. Now imagine that happening with your company's internal communications. One security researcher showed me a proof of concept where they got an OpenClaw-like system to leak API keys that were mentioned in previous conversations.
That's terrifying. How are they handling rate limiting and abuse prevention?
From what we can tell, pretty poorly. Multiple researchers have reported being able to hammer their API with thousands of requests without hitting any meaningful rate limits. That's not just a scaling issue, it's a fundamental architectural problem that suggests they haven't thought through production readiness.
What about the actual use cases? Are they at least targeting real problems?
This is another area where experts are scratching their heads. OpenClaw's marketing focuses on AI-powered conversation enhancement and intelligent message suggestions. But these are solved problems. Gmail has Smart Compose for years. Slack has workflow builders. Microsoft Teams has Copilot integration. What's the unique value proposition?
It sounds like they're trying to be everything to everyone.
That's a perfect way to put it. And in the current AI landscape, that's a recipe for mediocrity. The successful AI companies we're seeing now are laser-focused. Midjourney does image generation. 11 Labs does voice synthesis. Anthropic focuses on safe, helpful AI assistants. OpenClaw seems to be throwing features at the wall to see what sticks.
The expert skepticism is starting to make a lot more sense.
And we haven't even talked about the business model issues, the questionable founding team backgrounds, and the fact that their funding announcements don't add up. Stick around. In our final segment, we'll give you the exact framework experts are using to evaluate new AI platforms and what this means for the future of AI development. So what can we learn from the OpenClaw situation? Because this isn't just about one overhyped AI platform, it's about how the entire AI ecosystem is maturing and what that means for anyone building or evaluating AI tools.
Yeah, I want to understand the framework these experts are using. How should we be evaluating new AI platforms?
The researchers I've talked to have developed what I call the AI BS detector, a simple checklist for cutting through hype. First question, can you reproduce their claimed results? If a company won't share benchmarks, datasets, or let you run your own evaluations, that's red flag number one.
Makes sense. Reproducibility is fundamental to good science.
Second question, what's actually new here? And I mean technically new, not just a new user interface. Are they advancing the state-of-the-art in model architecture, training techniques, or safety measures? Or are they just repackaging existing technology? OpenClaw fails this test spectacularly.
What about business model evaluation?
Great question. The third check is sustainability. How are they planning to make money, and does it align with providing good service? OpenClaw's model seems to be get users hooked with a free tier, then jack up prices once they're dependent. We've seen this playbook fail repeatedly in the AI space because switching costs are actually pretty low when you're just wrapping API calls.
So what should companies actually be looking for in AI platforms?
Here's my advice for anyone evaluating AI tools right now. First, demand transparency. Any legitimate AI company should be able to explain their architecture, show benchmarks, and discuss limitations openly. Anthropic's Claude documentation is a gold standard here. They're upfront about what the model can and can't do.
What about security considerations?
Non-negotiable basics. SOC 2 compliance, regular penetration testing, clear data retention policies, and robust API security. But beyond that, look for companies that understand AI-specific security risks. Do they have protections against prompt injection? How do they handle potential training data leakage? What's their approach to content filtering and safety?
It sounds like the bar is getting higher for AI companies.
It absolutely is, and that's a good thing. The throw AI at everything phase is ending. We're entering the AI that actually works phase. Companies that survive will be those solving real problems with robust, secure, and transparent solutions.
So where does this leave the AI industry? Are we heading for a correction?
I think we're heading for a healthy consolidation. The hundreds of wrapper companies that popped up post-ChatGPT, many will disappear. But the companies doing genuine innovation, whether that's in AI efficiency, specialized applications, or safety research, they'll thrive. The key is that the market is getting smarter.
Any specific areas where you see opportunity?
Absolutely. Specialized models for specific industries, not generic chatbots, but AI that deeply understands legal documents, medical imaging, or financial regulations. Edge AI that can run on-device without sending data to the cloud. And perhaps most importantly, AI operations tools, the picks and shovels for companies actually deploying AI in production.
So the lesson from OpenClaw is really about market maturity.
Exactly. 2 years ago, OpenClaw might have raised $50 million and been hailed as revolutionary. Today, experts see through the hype immediately. That's not cynicism. It's wisdom born from experience. We've learned that democratizing AI isn't just about making it accessible. It's about making it reliable, secure, and genuinely useful.
Final thoughts for our listeners who might be building in the AI space?
Focus on solving real problems, not chasing hype. Be transparent about your capabilities and limitations, invest in security from day one, and most importantly, respect your users' intelligence. The days of succeeding with AI vaporware are over. The experts have spoken on OpenClaw, and their message is clear. The AI industry has grown up, and it's time for AI companies to do the same.
That's a powerful way to frame it. The OpenClaw skepticism isn't about being anti-innovation. It's about demanding better innovation.
Precisely. And that's ultimately good for everyone. Users get better products, investors avoid bad bets, and genuine innovators have room to shine. The AI revolution isn't over, it's just getting more serious about delivering on its promises. Before we wrap up, let's catch up on this week's infrastructure news. There's a fascinating new development in how we train AI models across multiple domains. Researchers just published a paper on Archive exploring 2 different approaches for multi-domain reinforcement learning in large language models. They're calling it to mix or to merge.
Mix or merge? What's the difference?
So mixing means training on all domains simultaneously in one go, while merging involves training separate models first and then combining them. The paper introduces this concept of reinforcement learning with verifiable rewards, or RLVR, which could significantly improve how LLMs handle diverse tasks.
Speaking of diverse markets, Anthropic just made a major move into India. They've opened an office in Bengaluru and announced partnerships across various sectors.
That's right. They're specifically focusing on improving AI model performance for Indic languages. This expansion comes at an interesting time, especially considering our next story.
Oh yes, Sam Altman just revealed that India has 100 million weekly active ChatGPT users. That's massive.
According to TechCrunch, OpenAI is even exploring a sub-$5 ChatGPT tier specifically for the Indian market. With both Anthropic and OpenAI investing heavily there, India is becoming a real battleground for AI adoption.
And speaking of new developments, the AI community on Reddit is buzzing about QN 3.5 being released today.
The local llama subreddit is particularly excited about this one. QN has been gaining traction as an open-source alternative, and version 3.5 could be a significant upgrade based on the community reaction.
Meanwhile, there's interesting movement in the AI talent space. Peter Steinberger, founder of OpenClaw, is joining OpenAI, according to The Verge.
This is particularly noteworthy because OpenClaw specialized in AI agent systems. OpenAI bringing in Steinberger signals they're getting serious about multi-agent AI integration in their core products.
It's fascinating how the industry is evolving, from new training paradigms to global expansion and talent acquisition.
That wraps up today's news.
That's our show for today.
If you found this valuable, please subscribe and share with a friend who'd appreciate it.
Drop us a comment with your thoughts on today's topic.
Links to everything we discussed are in the show notes.
Until next time.